It's a dinner bell for billionaires. That bell that rings at the end of the day at the stock market, right? It's a dinner bell for billionaires, and they are going to eat. When they crash the market, all the stocks go lower, right? And they're going to buy and buy and buy. And they're desperately wanting Powell to drop interest rates so they can buy some more. It has nothing to do with crashing the market so you can afford a home, lower interest rates. They're going to buy that home. They're going to buy and buy and buy. So when he drops the tariffs and things start to come back up, they're worth even more. It's a race to be a trillionaire, and they're all in on it. Okay? They're crashing the market. You and I, we're going to suffer. Our 401ks, crashing. Everything gets more expensive. We can't really afford that, right? There's people who can't afford it at all. There's people who are already working 3 jobs, and it's going to crush them. They're never going to miss an extravagant dinner. They're never going to miss a private jet flight. They're never going to miss that beach vacation. They're going to be just fine. They're crashing it so they can buy more. So they can buy the houses so that you have to rent from them and you can't own. And then they control you a little bit more, right? They're going to buy everything they can and then watch their wealth explode when he drops the tariffs per plan, right? And then they're going to tell you like, oh, look what he did. He dropped the tariffs and the economy's rebounding. Vote Republican. He saved the economy when they fucking broke it. And I've said this before. They're absolutely going to do this. We're early in 25. They are counting on, the MAGA Men in Black brain memory wipe to take place before elections in 2026. It's a dinner bell. It's for them. It's not for you and me. It's going to suck for us. The billionaires, they're loving it. They are going to feast on this shit and then get wealthier, right? Remember that. They are doing this for their advantage and your disadvantage. They're punishing you so they can get richer, just like always. Remember that. Don't fucking forget.
Intelligence agencies are reportedly in panic mode. And constitutional scholars? They're holding their breath because apparently El Presidente for Life Trump has been floating the idea of amending the U.S. Constitution so he can stay in power indefinitely. Yes, you heard that right. Life. President. Trump. I mean, say what you will about his hair-defying science, but this defies the very soul of American democracy. And here's where the plot thickens like cold gravy at a MAGA Thanksgiving. Many of his once devoted followers, the ones who used to shout down anyone with a brain, are now realizing, wait a minute, maybe electing a reality TV star with no government experience, 5 bankruptcies, and a Twitter addiction wasn't the genius move we thought it was. You think? Now, is there a tiny bit of we told you so energy here? Absolutely. But it's not about gloating. It's about understanding the cost of letting performative patriotism overpower common sense. It's about what happens when fear is weaponized and a cult of personality becomes more powerful than of facts. America is not a reality show. It's not a branding exercise. And it sure as heck isn't a stage for a wannabe monarch in a red tie that's 3 feet too long. So here we are, watching some MAGA voters quietly tiptoe away from the very mess they helped create, hoping no one notices. But here's the thing. We notice. And history will too. The question now isn't just what happens next, but what will we do next? Will the rest of the country keep watching this slow-motion constitutional car crash, or will we finally take the wheel back? And if Trump really does try to pull off a president-for-life stunt, will the people who once cheered him on become the ones who stop him? Let that marinate for a minute. And hey, if this story got you fired up, shook, or even just made you chuckle at the sheer absurdity of it all, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Trend Feed for more jaw-dropping, popcorn-worthy stories from the wild world of politics and beyond. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.
So let me see if I've got this one straight. Yesterday, at a protest in Indiana, a Trump-loving bucket of piss was driving around in his big black pickup truck, and after coming across a street that he couldn't turn onto due to the fact that the protesters were utilizing their First Amendment rights to peacefully protest wherever the they please, this individual got out of his truck, started shouting, grabbing, and shoving the female protesters that were gathered at the edge of the protest. Upon seeing this, a male protester came to their defense and entered the fray. He received the same shoving, shouting, and screaming, and as a result, gave that motherfucker a headbutt to the kisser. Now, Mr. Trump supporter, he runs back to his pickup truck, looks for his dick, can't find it, grabs the next best thing, which based on the speed he could acquire it was rolling around in the backseat of his pickup truck, a long rifle. Mr. Trump supporter runs back into the crowd with a firearm and is subsequently arrested. Now, here's where shit gets fucky. Mr. Trump supporter was subsequently released, citing that he broke no law and was acting in self-defense. Sure, he ran back to his pickup truck, where he could have completely ended the altercation, instead choosing to grab a firearm and escalate it further. But sure, that's fucking self-defense. Never mind the fact that it's stupid as fuck. Brandishing a firearm near a crowd isn't illegal in Indiana. You are not going to convince me that this motherfucker was driving around in his Trump hoodie with his firearm in the back, hoping to become the next Kyle Rittenhouse. You're just fucking not. And if you've ever needed evidence that that whole some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses, here's your fucking proof.
Imagine giving the keys to a Ferrari, our centuries-old, still imperfect but pretty darn resilient democracy, to a man who thinks traffic lights are part of the deep state. And somehow, in record time, Mr. Art of the Deal managed to turn the world's most powerful nation into what experts are calling a flaming clown car. Let's rewind for a second. Remember when Trump said only he could fix everything? That America would be winning so much we'd be tired of winning? Well, spoiler alert, nobody's tired of winning, because nobody's winning.
Show me the reason you have no money.
Something going on with conservatives you need to know about, because I've been following the conservative subreddit on Reddit, r/conservative, since 2014. Okay, so for over 10 years, as soon as Trump was on the docket for 2016 election, I was like, how is this happening? Why do they think it would be good for America? I started checking in on it, because although they're still wrong a lot of the time, a lot of those top commenters have at least a toe in reality. And so it's at least I get better answers from them than I would just Joe Schmo MAGA from down the street, right? So I find it very helpful. Lately, the comments on there are nothing like I have ever seen. While reading through them, I was reading through comments. Every third comment, I had to stop and check what subreddit I was in, because I'm like, I thought I was in some more leftist subreddit from how negatively these guys are talking about Trump. I've never seen it be this consistently anti-Trump with flared users, legit representatives of that community.
All right, folks, buckle up, because the MAGA train has officially gone off the rails. And guess what? The very people who bought first-class tickets? Yeah, they're now frantically trying to jump off at full speed. No seatbelts, no refunds.
And if you want the biggest concentration of them, there's a post that was put on there recently. It was just someone posting the link to an article that just was like, Trump seriously considering a third term. The comments were consistently negative, 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 no, 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 no. We're talking comments like, no way. I don't care how good the rest of your presidency is. No third term. We got people saying stop talking about all this insanity. Your presidency has been perfect, except for all these Canada, Greenland tariff stuff. What are you doing? It's not true, it hasn't been perfect, but that's what they think. The whole point is that this bubble that has been ironclad for a long time, for a decade, is starting to pop. And I find that encouraging. I do find it just so frustrating it took this much. They had to wait for half the ship to fill up with water before they realized it was sinking, but at least now they're like, maybe the iceberg was a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't have run into that. It is a change, this is the point, it's a change I have not seen in over 10 years, and it's actually happening. It's only this one piece of people that support Trump, but it is not an insignificant one. So, be encouraged. Although there's a lot of insanity right now, that pendulum is swinging both ways. Trump pushes it this way, it flings back that way too. And the more garbage he slings, the faster we get over with this. That's the whole point. So be encouraged. There are Trump supporters who are mad too. That should make you feel better.
You see, the Trump diehards, those red hat wearing, flag waving, drain the swamp, chanting superfans are having a bit of a post-con rally hangover. In private Facebook groups and whispered conversations at backyard barbecues, they're starting to say what the rest of us have been screaming since 2016. Did we just get played by the greatest con man in political history? And honestly, the answer is, yeah, you did. Royally. See, Trump didn't just promise them the moon. No, he promised a moon made in America, wrapped in gold-plated siding, guarded by Space Force, and paid for by Mexico. But what did they get? A 3-month masterclass in chaos.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win.
Not the economy, not international diplomacy, not women's rights, voting rights, or even the right to a peaceful news cycle. Experts, real ones, not YouTube chiropractors turned political analysts, are raising the red flags. Economists are warning about irreversible damage.